And we're actually, this is Sue Kalberg, who's in the Center Point Comfort area now.
Highway 27, yeah. Sue, what are you looking at?
So do you want to start with grasshoppers, then the car lights?
Hey, I just want to show you how terrible it is for the wildlife. This is one tiny little bright note. Look, can you see this fence post here? Every grasshopper in the world, this whole place is crawling with grasshoppers. When the insects know to go to the highest place they can get, you know how deadly and how serious this is. Everybody is looking for higher dry ground and they're not finding it. Now, I want to draw your attention to way over there. Now, a few minutes ago, we were live over there where those flashing lights are on the horizon. That's Bruins Creek. That's one of the many places where Highway 27 is closed to traffic. So Bruins Creek is over there. Now, as we zoom out here, you can see this is the main channel of the Guadalupe River. And I just want to point out, right where I'm standing, you can see that the debris here, the debris field from where the water used to be, is way up here. And then as we walk toward the river here, you can see that the water is already 100 yards that way. So we're just hopeful that, you know, Paul was talking about double crests of the river, and we don't know because there's still more water falling from the sky. But holy, I know you can't see it on camera, but the whole place is inundated with grasshoppers. They're just flying and hopping and trying to get away. Now, let me just tell you about where we are. This is Lane Valley. Ordinarily, this section of the Guadalupe River would be, they call it Lane Valley, and there's a little dip in the road here where the road goes across the Guadalupe River, and ordinarily, it's a kind of idyllic place where people local to the area know that if you want to have an isolated, idyllic little picnic spot, shade, deep shade, quiet water, it's in that grove of trees over there. That's what it normally is, but I don't know, the water's probably 100 yards across right now, and you can see people on the other side are trapped on their side of the Guadalupe River. Now I want to continue to talk about what's here. All of this part of the road right here is inundated with just a deep level of flood debris, indicating that the river was up here earlier. Look at, is this all grasshoppers still? Look at this wooden post here. All these guys are trying desperately to get up to high, dry ground. There's a big old spider. The whole place is inundated with grasshoppers just trying to survive. And I want to point out one other thing way off on the horizon, past that, I don't know, farm implement or whatever it is. There's a white car in the water. And I'm pretty sure that's the same white car that we saw when we were up at that other spot where people were being pulled out of the water. And I don't know how far down we are from where we were before, but we are significantly farther downstream on the Guadalupe River from where we started. I have one final thing that I want to say about floodwater and debris right now, because the grasshoppers reminded me that fire ants, scorpions, who knows what else is in the debris field. So as we move forward and the water starts to recede and the recovery effort begins, everything has been displaced, including fire ants. And if you're unfamiliar with hill country floods, fire ants save themselves by putting themselves in a rolling ball, and they float downstream and they keep rolling so that they all survive. And so if you're, if you're thinking about recovery and as we move forward, this is one of the crazy things that you need to remember. And also, as we move forward into the recovery effort, it's a good idea to just keep in mind that electricity is not your friend in many places that have been flooded, because you don't know if lines are down, you don't know if the power lines are still live, and you don't know if your appliances have shorted out because of electrical problems or problems with high water. So these are all the things that if you haven't reviewed your safety plans, if you haven't been online, before you go out and start to even think about recovery, these are the future-focused things that we need to be thinking about as the water starts to recede, as it is, because we can see that the water is continuing to recede here at Lane Valley Road, even though, man, I'm watching in the distance and what looks to be building parts are still going downstream here. And I don't know what that big huge thing is that's wedged on that tree down there. And when I first got here, I thought it was a pickup truck, but I believe it's just some big, huge tree or something that has fallen. Oh, and there's another one. There's another huge fallen tree that is headed downstream now. So it continues to be very dangerous here out on the Guadalupe River on Highway 27. And the roads continue to be shut down in many different places. So I would urge you to stay home and just be super careful if you feel the need to move about. We're going to go back to the west and see if we can catch up with those first responders and their boats. And when we find some more action, we will be back with you. Sue Kalberg, live on the Guadalupe River. Back to you.